Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, July 30th. Well, nothing too dramatic in the world of weather here in the Mid-Atlantic region for the next few days. Somewhat rather typical summertime weather with mostly rain-free conditions today. There can be a shower or a thunderstorm late this afternoon or early this evening across parts of the Mid-Atlantic region. No extreme heat. It looks like highs for the most part in the 80s in the Mid-Atlantic for the next few days. It will have a tendency to get hotter and more humid during the second half of the week as we head into the weekend, but even then, no extreme heat is expected, perhaps highs at 90 degrees or just above 90 degrees in the Mid-Atlantic region. Probably the best shot for showers and storms will be on Tuesday and Wednesday as we have a couple different frontal systems to deal with. So I thought we'd start off with a tropical look here. We haven't had hardly any activity during the month of July. In fact, July will go down as a month with very little, if any, tropical activity in the Atlantic as well as tornado activity, thank goodness, over the U.S. Very quiet on both fronts, tornadoes and tropical systems. We do have a wave right now entering the Caribbean Sea here. It's seen, it's not strong enough to be named, and it may or may not even reach that kind of status. We still are kind of early in the season here, but it's been definitely a quiet month of July here. And this is the first actual wave we've had in a while that's now headed into the Caribbean. So we'll monitor this over the next several days to see if it can strengthen to become a tropical storm. This particular visible satellite loop is from the Penn State EWOL website. Now, last spring we talked about the tropical outlook, and it did not expect a very active season, normal to maybe even slightly below normal. We had kind of a quick start, but then again, July turned out to be very quiet. Right now we have that wave entering the Caribbean, but other than that, it's been a very quiet month. Of course, the tropical season typically peaks late August and September, and so we'll just have to see what happens over the next several weeks. One of the reasons it's been rather quiet for the last several weeks is there's been quite an influx of dry air coming off the West African coast, Saharan dry air. It's indicated here on this particular type of color-enhanced satellite image from the SSEC Wisconsin website. This reds and oranges here kind of indicates where the dry air is in the mid and upper parts of the atmosphere, and a lot of Saharan air, including some dust, rolls off of the west coast of Africa, and at the mid to upper levels in the atmosphere over the Atlantic, this kind of dry air intrusion can very well inhibit tropical storm formation. That's what's been happening over the last several weeks, among other things. There's sea surface temperatures involved as well. But this is the very latest from early this morning. Again, dry air here, right off this is the west coast of Africa. Of course, this is the breeding grounds for tropical Atlantic this time of the year. Later on in the year, we typically get more homegrown type tropical systems over the Gulf of Mexico or the Atlantic closer to the east coast. Here's that current wave right now entering the Caribbean, so we'll monitor this situation over the next several days. But again, July has turned out to be a very, very quiet month in terms of tropical activity in the Atlantic. Well, let's get back a little closer to home here with the conventional U.S. surface map. And again, a couple of frontal systems to deal with during the week. There's a front right now here across the southeastern part of the country, and all kind of meander back and forth, north and south. And by the second half of the week, it actually should turn north as a warm front and pass through from the south to the north, the Mid-Atlantic region. Hence, we'll have some hotter and more humid air during the second half of the week, Thursday and Friday, perhaps even into the weekend, with temperatures at or slightly above 90. No extreme heat is expected, though, for the next several days. A couple more frontal systems that we'll have to deal with over the next few days. And probably the best chance of showers and storms will come on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week for the Mid-Atlantic region. Now, out in the west, there's still quite a bit of monsoonal moisture just streaming into the southwestern part of the U.S. And matter of fact, probably the biggest story over the next few days nationwide will be some heavy rainfall out here in places like Arizona, maybe even into Southern California, southeastern California. Very impressive monsoonal moisture flow out of the south to the north, and places like Arizona can get several inches of rain over the next few days. Here's the infrared satellite loop for the nation. The tropical wave is not visible here. That's too far to the south and east, but here we have quite a few interesting things here. Quite a batch of showers and thunderstorms just off the southeast coast, for the most part heading away out to sea. Here's that band of clouds associated with that moisture feeding in from the Pacific Ocean and even some from the Gulf of Mexico right into Arizona, southern Nevada and Utah, and even southeastern California. And there can be some heavy rain in this particular monsoonal moist pattern over the next few days in places like western and central Arizona. So that'll probably be the biggest story nationwide. A couple of other clusters of thunderstorms right in the heartland here and up across south central Canada. The heat is still on here in the south central U.S., where temperatures will bake, and many areas out here will reach the triple-digit 100-degree mark over the next couple of afternoons. Well, let's take a look at a couple of computer forecast maps from last night's Zero-Z GFS model run. This is for tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning. A couple of different frontal systems. There's one out here in the Midwest and another one here right along the East Coast. And all these frontal systems are weak and not moving all that rapidly, and because of that, we can have kind of an unsettled pattern. Much of the time will be rain-free, but you cannot completely rule out a shower or thunderstorm, primarily during the late afternoon and early evening hours. Looks like the best chance will probably come Tuesday and Wednesday. This front starts to move in during the afternoon and evening, and there'll be kind of an enhancement of the shower and thunderstorm activity over the mid-Atlantic region. Now if we jump ahead to Wednesday morning, and by this time on Wednesday morning, here's that frontal system just slowly moving in, but still some showers and thunderstorms possible here in the mid-Atlantic region. So for the most part, rain-free today here in the mid-Atlantic, but a decent shot at some shower and thunderstorm activity on Tuesday and Wednesday. Well, that's it for now for the SIweather.com. I'm the SI meteorologist, Paul Dorian.